Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Fitter Builder Player. My name is Matt Wainwright. You guys know me from the Chasing Daylight podcast here on this channel. Joined by my good friend Roars. How you doing today, sir?
Oh, spectacular. We dodged a hurricane, so it's been
In good
sunshine and
spirits.
bluebirds. Yeah.
Hurricanes can be a little nasty, man. The other night we were recording, we were sending our well wishes to everybody, and there was some damage, of course, because you get high winds hitting the coast. It's going to happen, and a little storm surge. But all in all, not nearly as terrible as what took place a couple weeks ago. So glad everybody down there in the FL is okay.
Yeah, still gonna. I'm gonna put something together through Roar's Golf Co. to raise some money for those affected, and I don't know. We found that patent online for the sound waves that can move. Move storms. Might do some investing in that too.
It was so funny. I was like, "What the hell is he sending me?" There's so many crazy things out there.
Yeah. Well, what's really crazy about it is that, I actually shared it on social, and some friends of mine did too. And then the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office ended up pulling it off their site.
Whoa.
That was a little eerie.
Like, oh crap, we forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, you guys have hurricane warnings. We've had a heat wave. It's finally starting to cool off in Vegas. October golf weather is finally coming. Thank goodness. I was out at Las Vegas Country Club today doing some fittings for Callaway, and wow, weather was amazing this morning. Sun got out, it got a little hot, but it's okay. I'm used to the heat, so it doesn't bother me that much. It's going to be nice to finally get some good weather that we've been waiting for forever. So you will be able to tell this week, Roar sounds a little bit more present. His got some upgrades to his equipment, so you sound great. You sound great.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, when you got clubs in your bag that fit your game, you kind of fall back in love with golf.
So this week we decided, this is our first real episode, and we were pondering a couple different things to talk about. Had a couple people reach out about some few things. Jeremy was asking about tour issue stuff on this week's show, so I told him, hey, we may get into that, if we have time today. But we settled on combo sets. This would be more in a fitter's perspective of the Fitter Builder Player moniker for us. Combo sets. Why don't you let people know what a combo set is and why someone should go to a combo set, and then we'll get into why they shouldn't get into a combo set and what they should be playing.
Yeah. So combo set. There's not really a here's the reason. There's a lot of reasons that you might combo a set. A lot of times it's kind of wanting to have your cake and eat it too. So, folks are comboing because they want the long iron forgiveness, or as much forgiveness throughout the bag as they can possibly get. But, the better players especially want to be a little more precise, be able to control the ball a little better, the spin, flight it, work it. And some of those, borderline game improvement clubs, you just can't work the ball like you can with a blade or a cavity back, more of that players club. And then, a lot of folks think about comboing a set. All they're thinking about is irons, but at the same time, you combo hybrids and irons.
Guilty.
I'm sure we'll dive into that some too. I actually have a hybrid in my bag for the first time since like 2010.
I played this past weekend, and I wasn't hitting my 5-iron well. I was hitting it okay, but not well. And that's like my 175, 180 club. Not a big hitter for those listening in. Not somebody that stripes it crazy long off the tee. So that's my 175, 180 club. And I wasn't hitting it well. And the reason I pulled my 4-iron and went to a 7-wood was because easier to hit, higher launching angle, a little bit more spin, able to hold greens from 200 to 205. It's like my 195 to 205 club right now. And then my 6-iron is my 170-ish club. But I was like, so I was concerned, like, I'm really struggling to hit this club consistently good. So today, in between fittings, I told Julian, I said, hey, I'm gonna grab a 5 hybrid and let's see what happens. And wow. I don't know if it's because I've been working on my swing and it's a little bit refined, but holy crap. High, long, spin. I'm like, good grief. So it was the 5 hybrid, the AI smoke, and it's the HL, the high launch. And I was hitting it way higher than my 5-iron. I was hitting it just as long, if not a little longer, and with way more spin than my 5-iron. So I was like, that was an easy fix. So the 5-iron's gone. It's yoked. The hybrid got ordered, and as soon as it gets here, 5-iron, you've been banished to the corner. So that's my little combo set. But like what you said, a lot of guys want the forgiveness of the players, game improvement players' irons, and then once you get up into the 7, 8, 9, the shorter clubs where the workability, is that where you're talking the workability factor with those?
Yeah,
or are you talking more
usually
on the bottom end of the bag with the 4, 5, and 6?
Well, it's it can really be any scenario out there. Most of the sets that I combo, you switch it to 7-iron. It's the folks that really have no business playing a player's club and just insist, or probably made their mind up before they got to the fitting bay, that they're going to combo their irons. I'll swap it at the 8-iron, just to give them a little more forgiveness in that 7-iron. They'll, like me a little more. And then, top of the bag, same thing. You don't have to just stop at 2 irons. You could, especially with for example, Callaway's Apex line, before the 200 and 300 came out, we were doing a lot of combo sets that had Apex Pro, 3 or 4-iron, and then the CB 5 through 6 or 7, and the MBs to round it out. So, you can go 3-way. Strixon also, Strixon actually has a combo set builder on their website, and they've got the utility irons, the ZX4, ZX5, ZX7. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. So they've got they've got it right on their website there.
Is the comboing new? Because I'm hearing a lot more of it. A lot more people are talking about it. You hear a lot. You see a lot more people with mixed sets in their bags. Is it something new that is kind of taken over, or has it been around for a while and people are just now starting to get word of it and wanting to try it out?
We're Nish and Chris, 2 very amateur golfers on a quest to play the top 100 courses in the UK and Ireland, after Chris set this challenge on a drunken Saturday night in my kitchen. Join us on our frequently humorous journey of a lifetime as we grapple with the logistical and financial challenge of playing some of the best courses in the world, as well as grappling with our games, because let's face it, it's never just about playing. Sometimes the score matters too. Listen to the Top 110 Golf Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
No, it's definitely been around. It's been around a long time. I know back in the 90s, some of the tour guys were playing, a couple different brands, because, back then, Adams used to be real popular. Trying to think some other brands. Wilson had, quite a stake in the game. Always had Callaway and TaylorMade and Titleist and whatnot. But some of the guys would have their own combo set because, for example, Adams was making more forgiving clubs, or Callaway was, and they'd play the longer irons with a more forgiving club, and then play the Wilson blades or the Hogan blades, down the scoring clubs. It's definitely gotten more trendy. There's a lot more people wanting to do it, asking about it. When I first started club fitting, or let's say when I restarted club fitting, because I first started in the late 90s. But when I restarted club fitting, we didn't do a lot of combo sets, and nobody ever, came to the TaylorMade tent and asked, hey, interested in a 770 and a CB or MC combo set. They come to the tent and just wanted to hit whatever. And then as I got out of working for, doing demo days and fitting events, it's towards the end of that portion of my career, folks would come and say, hey, I want to look at comboing 790s and 770s. And then here in the Fit and Bay at Shell Bay, I get folks all the time that, walk in and say, or, they'll reach out before they even book their fitting and say, hey, I'm interested in comboing the, what was the most recent one? It was actually 770s and MCs, the new ones from TaylorMade.
Yeah. Now, do you go, okay, or do you go, tell me why? Or do you wait for the fitting to ask questions like that?
No, I get them hitting balls and we have a conversation about it. And really, and that's the one reason that I feel like I'll always have a career as a club fitter, even with AI and computers and spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff, that you got to fit the person to what they're trying to achieve. And that requires a conversation,
Yes.
One of the best examples I have of that was when I was working for TaylorMade, and I was doing an event at, I don't remember if it was PGA Tour Superstore or Golf Galaxy, but they warned me when I got there that my first fitting was a guy who comes in every other day, hits something new, never buys anything. And I fit him, and he bought a driver, and the store manager came up and said,
what did
how
you do?
in the world did you sell him a club? Yeah. And it was all because I had a conversation with him. I asked him, what are you trying to achieve? And he says, I've never been able to hit a draw. I want to hit a draw. And so with these head adjustments and with what, he's the way the heads adjust, and they have different centers of gravity and MOI throughout different ones. You can help somebody hit a draw for sure. Of course,
Absolutely.
12 degrees across the ball, you're not going to hit a draw ever.
Your draw is going to go really, really left.
Yeah. And so, he said, I want to hit a draw, and I, got him to hit a draw, and, and the, no offense to anybody listening that might be a fitter at Superstore, Galaxy, or one of the box stores, but most of those folks are just trained to hit numbers, get them 12 degrees of launch, 2,200 spin, and the guy couldn't draw that club. It was something that actually spun a little bit more and, had some draw bias, add some loft, close the face. And he was hitting a little baby draw. Never done it before, and bought two of them.
It's amazing how you can, with today's tech in the fitting or in how the clubs, how you can manipulate the heads, the Max Fast that Callaway has, super draw bias. And it's funny when you see somebody that is playing a club that's not set up like that, swings that club, and they're like, whoa. It's like, yeah, there's
yeah.
And then you can, from there you can tweak it, and get it and find out, okay, maybe you don't need this one, let's go back to the Max, or there's the Max. There's so many different options now to dial in players specifically to what they're swinging. But with combo sets, what should people be interested? What should they be looking for with their game if a combo set is right for them? Because I'm sure there's some people out there that are like, do I need a combo set? Some people are like, yes, I want a combo set, and you don't need it. So at what point during a fitting process would you tell somebody, hey, we're gonna mix this up, we're gonna combo this set, and why does that, at that point, do you do that? Does that make sense? I ramble too much?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. There's just so many variables and so many reasons that you would combo. Most of the time, I mean, just honestly, most of the time I'm comboing a set because somebody came in deciding they wanted Mira, MB 101s, and they have no business hitting them.
None.
Or, they want, yeah. And so I can at least talk them into, hey, why don't we throw a little more forgiving 5-iron in the bag, and and then kind of slide in the I'm going to combo it down at the 7-iron, and they appreciate that. So I mean, a lot of times it's making the person happy, which my job as a fitter is to put the best clubs in their bag, and I'll always give them my recommendation. But people can be stubborn, and it's their money. Yeah. And if they want, just have got to have something in the bag, then let's work around it and get some of it in the bag. And the big thing for me though is probably consistency. If maybe your swing's not the best, but you hit the ball in the same spot all the time, then that can kind of play into where you want more forgiveness. Obviously, everybody wants forgiveness, wants all the forgiveness you can get. The guys here are giving me hell for playing the Callaway Thai Fusions right now, but I know where the ball's going,
Yeah.
And then, so if you're not real consistent, combo set could be good. Like if you're around the greens, or somebody's just loves their clubs, loves their swing, from let's say 140 in, and knows what's happening with the ball and where it's going. But on the longer clubs, struggle, with dispersion or whatever it is, then let's look at a more forgiving club, and sometimes I'm not always talking somebody out of a full set of players clubs as much as I'm sometimes talking somebody into throwing some more forgiving clubs in the top end of the bag.
Yeah. It's I love this ideology of making the game easier, right? There's so much tech out there now with shafts and heads and how they're built, and game improvement irons that don't look like game improvement irons. Finally, a lot of brands are realizing that golfers are really finicky people, and we want our shit to look cool, and a shovel on the end of a shaft is not what they want to see. So taking clubs and making them more forgiving, and also making them have the appearance of a player's iron, is a big trend going on right now. Callaway's Paradigm line. I know Callaway, so that's why I'm talking about it. You, Rory, you could talk about other clubs that are maybe doing this because you see them more. But the AI Smoke Paradigm irons, they don't look like the Rogue irons. They are vastly different. They have a clean look to them. Yeah, there's some offset to them, of course, because it is a game improvement club, but much different than going back 5 years.
Oh yeah, yeah. Top line's a big one. Top lines are shrinking.
Yes.
Nobody wants to look, like I said, at a shovel. You don't want a big old fat top line. You don't want to see the back of the club sticking out, when you forward press, and to speak to some other brands like Mizuno, and they're 241, 243, 245s, like those, like the 245 to the 241, those are completely different clubs. But if you got paired with somebody that's got a set and they're riding with you on the cart, you got to get up close to figure out which one they have. Same thing with Strixon. Yep. I mean, these clubs like the ZX4, is it's got a cavity. It looks like cavity back, but it's a super forgiving iron. And you kind of got, same thing. If you don't have the trained eye, you don't know whether they're playing the same thing Brooks Koepka's got, or if they're playing, the little more forgiving version of it. So yeah, that's something I was going to speak to a minute ago was, even if the club's not the perfect club for you, and I see this a lot in putters, but same thing with combo and irons and whatnot. If you're excited about hitting that club because it looks good to you, for whatever reason it is, but if you're excited about hitting that club, you're going to hit it more. It means you're going to practice. It means you're going to be excited to get out there. And, golf is so between the ears that if you like looking down at something, you're going to be holding it a lot more than if you hate it.
Yeah, Dan, I just built this set for Dan. It's Mizuno's. He's got the 221s in wedge through 6. Yeah, wedge through 6, and then the 4.5 is the 223s. Does that look right? It's kind of blurry, so.
Yeah.
And he's super excited to see it. But he went with, a more forgiving club at the 4 and 5. And he's a highly skilled player. He's a +2. So but it's funny how, I don't know if it's me being around guys that are getting older, that are growing older with me, but I'm starting to see more and more people start, those clubs that are harder to hit are going to a club that's easier to hit and enjoying golf so much more because of it.
Yeah. And the pros are doing it now too. There's more woods, there's more hybrids in bags, there's more forgiving clubs in bags, and they're playing for money.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure most of us do too, but I mean, it's their career, it's their paycheck, and I think it was Golf Magazine been talking about Freddie Couples and his 6 or 7 woods and hybrids. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's you got to play what fits your game, not your ego.
Yeah, and that is hard. That is hard. And I tell you what, find a demo day, find a fitting day, go to the golf store and find look at the loft on your lowest iron in the bag. Mine was a 5 iron, and let's see, I have it right here because we were looking at it. It's a 26-degree club. And so we took the 5 hybrid, which was 21, I think, 21, 22, and bumped it up to 24. So it was 22, 21, 20, or 23. We bumped it up to. So a little bit stronger lofted, but I could not believe how well I was hitting it, how high it was going, and the spin. It was incredible. So, and I was like, I hit probably 10 shots with my Adele 5 iron. Maybe 4 were like solid. I hit 10 with the hybrid, 9 were solid. And the one that wasn't was a really good miss. So, I mean, just the consistent, and that is where my game's biggest weakness is right now, is my approach shots from, 200, 160 to 200. It's weak. And found something that is going to help me in that regard. So, and you know what? If I find out that I hit the 6 hybrid better than I hit my 6 iron, I'm going to a 6 hybrid. I don't care what is in the bag. Is like Julian's got this great thing that he says, when we've been fitting people, and they're I don't want to hit that. So, hey, when you're sitting down after the round going over your score, does it say what club you hit? Is there a section to mark what club you hit? No, there's just a section where you total up your score. Yeah, it doesn't matter what the hell you hit. What matters is that box at the end with your number on it. Is it lower than the person you were playing? Yeah, okay. That's what matters. It doesn't matter if you hit a 4 hybrid.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's I think it was my dad when I was a kid used to say, they don't draw pictures on the scorecard.
Yep. It's not like baseball where you can, it is like baseball. Line drive, a bloop single, both a hit in the scorebook.
Yep.
Doesn't matter how you get there. So, and with combo sets, like you were saying, with hybrid, you can combo a set with hybrids and fairway woods. You can combo a set with irons and hybrids. You can combo sets with 2 different types of irons. You even said you can combo sets with 3 different types of irons. So for me, fitting, we have a 7 iron that we use, and we have the hybrids and everything that we can figure out. Do you mainly fit there with just 1 iron, or do you have an onslaught of heads that you can have somebody? Because for me, it's kind of hard to determine if somebody should be in a combo set. we'll have them hit their lowest iron in the bag just to get a reference point. But we don't have a 5 in a MB and a 9 in a CB to see the difference.
Right. Yeah, and no, I don't. I do have a few complete sets, and hopefully don't offend anybody. But I don't know. Maybe the point of this whole podcast is to offend people. But in a roundabout way,
I'm not shy about it. We can.
Yeah. So a lot of times, and this has been the case through my entire club fitting career, women are a tough sell if they can't hit every club in the bag. They're striping the 7 iron, or they're striping the 7 wood, and they're striping the 3 wood, but I don't have a 5 wood in that particular head. They won't buy it.
Yeah.
And then same thing with the irons. They're like, well, do you have a 9 iron? Do you have a pitch and wedge I can hit? So and it's not just the ladies. There's guys that are like that too. And some people, cost is a factor.
Huge, especially nowadays with the price of things.
Oh yeah. So some people they're spending $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a set of, a full set of custom fit golf clubs. And I totally understand, if I was making that kind of investment and had saved up for it, or was about to max out my credit card or spend my entire tax refund check, I might want to hit more than just a 7 iron too. So That said, I do have some sets that, I'll order 5 through pitch and wedge, so folks can hit them, but it's usually not a inquiring about comboing a set of irons.
Yeah.
But that said, there's a lot of data. Mizuno Shaft Optimizer is, it compiles some data that saves me some math, it's looking at the way you transition and from the top. It's looking, I look at attack angle. I'm looking at, attack angle is a big one, that as long as I worked for TaylorMade, I never had anybody at the company ever talk to me about attack angle. And
really,
in terms of training and whatnot,
wow. That's such a
huge
number.
Yeah. And, they touch on it in fitting certifications just to understand what it is and what it means and how it affects the club, but they don't really talk about it in terms of fitting a hybrid versus an iron. Maybe they've stepped up their game. I'd be honest that I don't go through their training program every single year.
Yeah.
I get the highlights, and then, we get in the fitting bay, we put stuff to the test and kind of figure it out. Cause I also have a hard time believing what a company tells me a club is going to do versus what it does. And same thing with shafts, but you can look at those metrics. You can look at attack angle and, I think
see what they're doing with this club, the fitting club, and kind of base your analysis on that.
Yeah. If your attack angle is down 1 or 2 degrees with the 7 iron, you're not going to be able to hit a 4 iron. There's, there's just no way, that's where the hybrid comes in. You've been working on creating a little more lag, and that kind of shallows out your swing a little bit, and that makes perfect sense.
I think one of the big things why that hybrid was so much easier for me to hit is, one, I am a sweeper. I'm not a digger. I don't take big divots. One, mainly because I'm still have a little bit of a flip at the bottom that I'm trying to eradicate. But my transition into the ball is very appealing to a hybrid strike, where the mass is with that club and how I can bring it into the ball right now is like the bee's knees. I was sitting there in awe, 'cause I have not been a hybrid person, but the only hybrid I've ever tried to hit is like a 3 hybrid. I haven't ventured into a 5 or a 6 hybrid. And when I sat that down today, nothing made me go, ugh. It was like, all right, let's hit it. And from the first ball strike, I was like, holy crap. What have I been
Yeah.
doing this whole time with this? And it's a mental, it's between the ears thing. But I'll get, out on the course, and I'm 185 out, and I'm like, all right, here's my 5-iron. Oh, what's gonna happen? And it's just that negative thought creeps over because I know I don't hit it that well. So now I'm geeked to get out there and go, yeah, let's fucking rock this club, because I know that I'm gonna hit it well. So
Yeah, you're going to be hitting hybrid off the tee on short par fours, so you can hit it a second time.
yes. But as somebody that is a low ball hitter, I hit the ball low. Like I said, I'm not super steep. I'm a sweeper. So, when I do try to de-loft it comes out low, and the irons that I have and the shafts that I have, I hit a low ball. And I went down the wormhole a couple weeks ago about low ball versus high ball. And it's so funny because on so many different forums and websites and articles and YouTube videos, aka the golf rabbit hole, it comes out to high ball hitters want to hit it low ball hitters want to hit it high. So that's the way it is. People who hit draws want to hit fades. People who hit fades want to hit draws. And it made me go, just play your game. Just play your game. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Play your game. Let's refine that. But then I saw that high launching 5 hybrid, and it's like, and I've got a descent angle that's like impressive. I'm like, that's holding greens from 190. That's what I need. I don't need that low burner that comes in, hits the green, and I'm chipping from the back of the green. I want that, butterfly landing with sore feet from 190 yards.
Yeah. And, one of the cool things, I went out to Callaway's headquarters this summer. I tried to hit as many manufacturers as I could to go, see their behind the scenes and talk with their fitters to see if I could pick up any tips or tricks or, learn about the R&D and the new products coming out this coming year or that had come out this fall. I went to ECPC, Ely Callaway Performance Center, and had a few holes in my bags, and really just we're really 3-wood, fairway wood. I have not had one that I've been excited about since like rocket balls.
Great club.
And so anyway, oh yeah, yeah. And so we found a 3-wood or a couple that fit me really well, and then we started talking about. I have a 3-iron. Sometimes I I had a ping hybrid in my bag at the time, a ping 2 hybrid that I liked off the tee. I hit it really low, so it really wasn't a good par 5 chaser, in a long par 5, because it wouldn't hold the green. But so they suggested that I hit the HL, the high launch Callaway hybrid, and I said, it's windy, especially in season down here, South Florida. I mean, we
don't want that high.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, texting me post hurricane or hey, the ball's or not the ball. I see you got some high winds. I'm like, no, this is winter wind for us. You got West Texas and South Florida, and that's another thing when you're fitting. For me, probably more than most people, it's worth asking, where do you play most of your golf? If they play most of their golf down here, or they play most of their golf up north or Colorado or West Texas, the conditions where they, and this might be a whole nother episode, fitting to where you play golf, soft versus firm, windy versus not windy. But so anyway, I personally had never even hit the HL, because the last thing I want is a super high ball flight, in the wind down here. And they explained it to me that it's really not a high launch club, that it's the CG, the MOI is a little different. It's a little bit different head shape, that makes it easier for a sweeper to hit the ball, to make good contact, to compress the ball. And thus, because you're hitting the ball more solid, it goes higher. It's not necessarily that it has more loft or anything like that. So
Better strike.
yeah, it's just going to be a better strike, and that's going to get the ball up in the air. Spin a little more, spin can be your friend at times. So and it's hard to spin. It's hard to spin the ball when you're coming in shallow, when you're a sweeper.
Yeah. And I mean, the main thing that we want to tell everybody, get fit. Find out.
Absolutely.
Beginners to novices to experts, you can never go wrong with getting fit. Find fitters in your area. Callaway's fittings are online. You can find places. They don't charge for fittings. So it's a great way for you to go out, get some valuable information, maybe find some clubs that you absolutely love. But there's fitting events all over. Find something that works for you. And I mean, in the end, we all want to play good golf and we all want to have a good time. Scoring well makes you play better golf, and it will make you have a better time. So there's really no downside to the fitting process and getting fit. The options are growing so much for people out there. The combo sets is a trend. It's not really a trend. I would say, I guess it is a trend that's taking place right now. But find out, talk to your fitter, find out if a combo set is something right for you. Are you struggling hitting the 5 and 6 and 7 iron in your bag? Could a club that offers a little bit more balance, a little bit more stability, a little bit more forgiveness benefit you with those clubs? And like we said earlier, there's so many good looking game improvement clubs out there right now. It's not like it was in the past. You've got options for great looking clubs. So be sure to explore that stuff. And, maybe a combo set is right for you. Now, do you want to talk about people that have no business playing a combo set?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of touched on it a little bit. Just the folks that come in have their mind made up that they want a certain combo set. The other thing is, I've got some buddies that used to combo their own set. They found a set of cavity backs at the players clubs that they really liked and bought the whole set at a bargain. And then they found another set that was a little more forgiving, had the wrong kind of shafts or whatever. So they pulled the shafts out of the other. Anyway, if you're going to build your own combo set, more than likely you're going to have to adjust the lofts, and sometimes even the lies, the way the ball plays, the way that comes off the face.
And a lot of a lot of clubs that are more forgiving, they have stronger lofts.
Yeah. So
you could really cause a big gap between your 6 and your 7. If you, take a 6 and 6-5-4 out of a set, put a game improvement in, that is more like a 3-4-5 loft wise. So if you are doing that, exactly, make sure that you're getting your lofts checked. And
so I mean, that speaks to get fit as well. I mean, that's part of the fitting process. We're gonna combo that. We're gonna make the 7 iron or 6 or wherever you're swapping, touch stronger, or we might make it a touch weaker. Or we might make all of the more forgiving clubs a little weaker. I mean, everybody wants stronger, but just got to do what's right for your game. I actually fit someone one time into, what was it? I think it was Mizuno's. It was we did JPX and the more forgiving clubs and the pros and the scoring irons and whatnot. He actually carried 2 7 irons.
Wow. Well, yeah. Well, if the lofts are that different, yeah.
Yeah. One from each set. So
give me my 7 iron. Which one?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, but you can go online to most all the manufacturers have the lofts listed. And so if you are thinking about, obtaining clubs like that, you can always go on the manufacturer's website, find out the lofts and see where you are. compared to what you have, and make sure that you get that set built properly.
Absolutely. And swing weighted properly too.
Yeah. Well, think about, 20 years ago when the internet wasn't as predominant as it is now. You got all this information right at your fingertips. It's amazing. Today, Callaway's got an app that has everything that they sell, every shaft, every iron head, every loft. And it's so nice to just be able to pull it up, boom, 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 hey, what can I get these wedges in? Well, you got this with this loft, it's so amazing. So use that information, use that technology to your advantage.
There's a ton of tools out there. There are so many resources these days that we didn't used to have access to. Like Titleist has I can't remember what they call it, but it you punch in what shaft you like or you're playing or whatever, and it can make suggestions on current day, like what's out there now that performs like that. Wow. I've always had appreciation for what Tiger did in his prime, and the guys I grew up watching: Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Lee Trevino, Gary Player. But I have so much more appreciation now looking at the tools, the resources, the technology, the evolution of the golf club, what we have today and what they did with none of that.
It was like, this is your club. Here you go. Here's the shaft.
Oh, yeah.
The main thing back then was your grips. Like you got like Arnold Palmer talked about it, how much what he did to his grips to make them fit his hands. That was like the customization back in those days. There was no different, lie angles and lofts and shafts. And it was, here's your club. You don't like the way it feels, put a different grip on it. There you go.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've heard stories of guys that were stacking nickels on the end of their shaft to counterbalance before they put the grip on.
Oh, wow.
They'd shim a popsicle stick down the back of it, like the Align grips we have today.
Grips, the reminders. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love it when I love it when I do some work for some people and I'll take their grips off and their zip ties.
Yeah. That was another one. Yeah. I forgot about.
Which, by the way, that's a great use for a reminder. A zip tie works really well.
Yeah.
Really
like
well.
And then so, I started to say, if you like a Tour Velvet cord, and they don't make it with a reminder and a line, that you could do that, but they do make a Tour Velvet cord that has a rib. So, and you can feel it. You can definitely feel it.
Very much so.
I can't tell you how many times I've ordered just regular Tour Velvet cords, and then somebody comes back and says, "Hey, these feel weird."
Yeah, well, I can't remember which ones it is. They have the real thin red line on it. It's not. It's an aligned grip, but the rib is on the bottom side, but the line is on the top. And I'm used to that line being on the bottom, and so when I built these, I put that line on the bottom. And Dad was like, "These don't feel right," and I'm like, "Is the rib on top?" And I'm like, "No, the rib is with the line." It's like, no, not on these. So yeah, chalk that up to learning experience.
Well, there you go. Well, hopefully you're able to save
make sure the rib's on the right side. Yeah. That was a few years ago. So
okay.
So something that just popped in my head, speaking about different tools that are out there, have you used the Quintec app yet? So I know you have a Quintec.
No, I haven't used it,
right?
No, I haven't used the app. I've only used the full-blown software.
Okay, well, you need to check out the app and we'll let everybody know if it's worth a get. Because they have a device that they sell that you can set your phone up in, and I'm not sure how much the app costs or if there's a price for it or not. But looks like it has some great, if it's legit and if it works. But it would be awesome to do side by side with just the app and the full Quintec device, just to see, because Quintech's not a cheap machine, and not
No,
everybody.
it definitely isn't. But and
Not-
that that's kind of like when the Flight Scope Mevo came out. I did a lot of side by side testing to see if this is a good alternative. or is it trash?
Or is it trash?
It was trash.
Yeah. That's why I don't have one
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah. So, well, you got anything else you want to chat about on as far as combo sets, or are we good with episode 2? We're still logoless, we're still musicless, we're still sponsorless. But Roars is gonna work on some logo stuff tonight. So hopefully, you'll start seeing Fitter Builder Player pop up a little bit more with some more attractive appearances.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't think I have too much to add. I don't think I really have anything to add. I just like talking to you. So if you want to talk some more, we can.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I think that some things, I don't know. I was thinking maybe we should do a segment every week. It's like, what's the most interesting fit I might have had in the past week, or what's the most interesting build,
All right. I like it.
A headache, a solution, something like that. I know you had one recently, and we referenced, or you talked about those Mizunos you built. Did you end up figuring out the swing weight issue?
We one of the issues was Dan had his set. It was built long, and he wasn't aware that it was built long. So he told me standard. So I built him to standard length, and when he grabbed him and when he picked him up, he's like, "These are short," and I'm like, "You said standard, And so we went and measured his 7-iron to this one, and it was like, yeah, they were like half-inch long, and so I was like, "Whoa, oh shit!" So instead of ordering new shafts, we just ordered some extensions. Put some extensions in there, and the weights are better now. They're not. It's like it's flirting with D1 compared to C8. So they are still light heads. It was surprising. The 224s came out fine. They're perfect, but the other ones, they're light heads. So
yeah, and a lot of the manufacturers do make a light head for a long build. Like
that's what you said. I was surprised.
Yeah, TaylorMade, for example, give me light fitting heads. So if I'm sticking a +1/2, +1 shaft in a head, then I grab the lighter fitting head, so they feels more like what they're going to get.
Yeah, that's something that maybe, I don't know, like the person he bought them from is off an eBay auction. So I'm sure wherever he got them from, or if he ordered that person, he necessarily, but that person that was selling them, don't know if they got them custom built from Mizuno or if he picked them up at a garage sale or whatever. But you don't know what's going on with the clubs. You just kind of got to start from scratch and let's try to get the swing weight where it's at. But it's interesting that you said that some manufacturers will go to a lighter head for a longer build. Makes total sense.
Yeah.
It'd just be nice if there was a way, like with the Callaway. I was asking you about this because we saw this recently. They have the H and the L on the tour wedges for heavy and light. And okay, can we do that on anything that's not stock, please?
Right.
Help some people out.
Yeah.
What was yours?
Yeah. I mean, what was my most interesting? Was probably the most challenging was reshafting a lab putter. They
don't let them know you did it.
They're gonna,
because they'll want you to send it back.
Yeah, they make a very good case for it. Because the whole premise of lab, lab stands for lie, angle, balanced, and
they got to tune it.
Yeah, swapping shafts, you can get really out of whack. And I can communicate with them and work on something and get it dialed, the proper balance and swing weight. But, most people don't have the resources or tools or connections. And this particular guy, he had rolled someone else's putter that did it themselves and knew that was what he wanted. So he didn't care about the warranty. He didn't care about being what they considered properly balanced because he drained everything he looked at with his buddy's putter. But most clubs, most putters, you're heating the hosel. You're heating. Now they'll probably kill me for this. You got to heat it from the bottom of the putter. If you want to pull that shaft out, you got to put the flame on the bottom of the putter.
Unlike the DF3, the big ones.
Yeah. Yep. And so, because I tried 3, 4, 5 times, heating the shaft, heating that side of the club, because that's where every other club I've ever built, you heat it up. And so, just a little tidbit. If you want to do some of your own experimenting, if you want to take a chance at ruining your putter, heat the bottom.
Wow. I would have never, I haven't even had one in here to do. I have done the link, the blade. Friend of mine, Stephen Jackson, had one, and he wanted to put a LAGP shaft in it. And so we put it in, and, I posted a video of the shaft swap, and they commented right away, better send it back, otherwise it's not going to work. You need to send it to us and let us tune it because it's not right. It's like, whoa, sorry. I'll let him know because he told me to do it. So
yeah, I totally get it. I know where they're coming from, and as somebody who has made putters, made wedges, built golf clubs, you give somebody something that doesn't work right, and then it scars your reputation,
Absolutely.
So the guy built that putter for, tickled pink, loves it. You're going to talk it up to his friends, probably tell them to come see me and have me throw an LAGP in their lab as well. But, you get the guy that tinkers too much and screws his club up and can't make a putt. He's not going to say anything nice about lab golf.
Absolutely going to shot talk trash to it.
Yeah. So, I'd have the same policy.
I want to do a study of all the tour players on the major tours, DP, even Live. Yes, I said major tour and included Live. Korn Ferry, PGA Tour, of all the guys that have switched to a lab putter, and I want to see their stats back and forth, before and after, just to see if, at that level, if it's making a difference. I know guys are switching to it because they think it's making a difference, but I'm curious if it is actually making a difference at that level. Now, at the amateur level and, the mid to high handicap level, absolutely think it'll help somebody. Absolutely. No discredit to it whatsoever. But I think a highly skilled player that is a professional, as one of the top 300 golfers on the planet. I know you get the yips and everything, but I find it hard to believe here that those putters are improving their game. Their putting.
No, I totally get it. And, I would bet that if you could get a data set of every player that's done it, it's probably not an improvement across the board, statistically not. It's just like
maybe a section here it's better than there, but
yeah, time to time. If you think about Ricky Fowler when he went counterbalanced, say who was it that was winning
right now?
Yeah. Who was it that won? Was it Wyndham? Was it Clark?
He won with the jailbird. Yeah. Ricky won with the jailbird.
Yeah.
Keegan Bradley won with the jailbird.
So everybody thinks, okay, this counterbalance thing is the new trend and it's hot, but hey, there was 40 guys the previous 3 weeks on tour doing the same thing, and you didn't hear about it because they
no success,
didn't do well. Yeah. So
it's so it's so personal.
Yeah. It just goes back to get fit, work with a putting coach, swing coach, it's just because something's trendy.
Preston's putting. Preston's putting,
yep.
Man, he's helped me so much. Unbelievable.
Yes,
different
sir.
Mindset for putting. So, all right, well, let's wrap it up for this week, everybody, or this episode. what are we recording? What day is today? Today's October 10th. 10/10 we're recording this. Hopefully we get it out on 10/11. If not, it'll go out on Monday. And thanks everybody for tuning in. Please, if you're listening to this and you liked what you heard, leave a review on the Chasing Daylight podcast. That's where these are going out on. And then say, hey, love Fitter Builder Player episode 2, and help spread the word. We'll start posting on socials and getting the word out about the show. Your support will help, but we need information from you. What do you want to hear? What is something in the building, in the fitting, in the playing aspect of golf that you'd like to hear us chime in about? Roars and I, we don't mind ruffling feathers at all. So
no, not one bit.
If there's a topic out there that you think people are being soft on and you want to hear some truths, some hard takes, let us know. Thanks again, brother. It's fun chatting with you. I can't wait till we get back to the next one. And like I said, leave a comment. Let us know what you want to hear, what you want to talk about. And we got some in the first episode that we put out, we got a list of things that we want to talk about. So check it out. And thanks everybody. And we'll see you next time.